Alright, so a tool that I'm going to introduce is my bridge. Okay, now my bridge is just something that I use on a painting, and it's nothing more than two thin pieces of wood that you can buy, and then well, actually one thin piece of wood that you can buy, and then you just kind of cut this little inch by an inch piece and glue it on there and clamp it. And that's a really cool bridge. You know, you want to sand this nice and smooth. So I use this for my paintings, and so now what I can do is I can rest my hand on the bridge, and we've got a 1/4 of an inch space, maybe a little bit more, between the piece of wood and the paper, so I don't smudge. So now if I wanted to, I can come over here. Now the risk with me doing this is that you're going to see my face in a weird way, but I just want to show you how I use the bridge. So I'm going to probably put down some darks over here. I don't want to do too much of this on camera, and I'm going to sharpen like 1 or 2 edges just because I wanted to kind of see how my darks were on the actual cast to make sure that I'm not going. I feel like I'm starting to go a little dark with them, and so I wanted to lay down one more dark in the background to kind of give me some context with the darks on the actual statue. And once and for all, I think I would just want to kind of feel this section out. I see a light over here on the edge of the arm. I'm going to get rid of it because I think it's destroying my form a little bit. Now this part of the drawing I barely have smudged. Do like a little gradation here. I'm going in with a different pencil stroke. I like the gradation here. I like it. I need to work on this next. And I really do feel like maybe I should just finish the drawing off for you before I really get into the tediousness off camera. I should finish off that base before I get into the other stuff off camera, because you know, we're at a point right now where I feel like I've given you all I can give you on camera. The rest is just a lot of the same. And a lot of me just leaning back, doing a little bit with the eraser. Some of this stuff is just looking good. It's not looking great, it's looking good to me. So I just want to work on it just a little bit. Now I'm going to use my finger here at the risk of putting oils all over the paper. You know, I don't want to be too much of like a purist, and sometimes you just want to use the tools. I mean, over time some of this oil may not be good for this drawing, but you know, I'm going to just photograph it. It'll be online forever and it'll look the same as it looks today. Yeah, look at all that. You know, I'm really getting there's a lot of pencil. That's why, you know, at this point you've got to be careful. I can't reiterate this enough, because you destroy your drawings at this stage of the game by over-rendering. Over-rendering is like death. You know, it's definitely death. And so I think if I stopped at the drawing right now, it would be a fair drawing. It would be an okay drawing. But it truly depends on where you want to go and your style. And I could keep pushing. I mean, I can keep pushing. There are some artists that would say, you know, you're not even close to being done yet. You know, and that's fine. You know, that's their style. As I've gotten older, I kind of bring stuff to a certain level, and I say that's enough, especially on video. So, yeah, just the little subtleties. I can work on all these little subtleties. Let's go back and just revisit this. Now, this is a big blur area for me. Like, I'm really blurring that arm. And I need that in the drawing because every other place in the drawing has an edge. And, you know, this is another area where I'm blurring. This I'm blurring. You've got to lose an edge somewhere. If you don't, then your drawing's going to look like you cut it out and you glued it down to the paper. And we don't want that. And so soft edges create atmosphere. The combination of soft and hard edges create realism. This line over here is a little too thick for me. So let's come in now a little bit and tweak with our eraser. Should be using the bridge. Just make that a little skinnier. We want to round the chest muscle. Tapping. And one more time. Really looking. Let's go back. We haven't worked on the abs in a long time. Let's work the lights a little bit now. And let's, there's a little, I don't know if I want to match what I see. I like the abs, and I gotta tread lightly. I don't want to overwork. If anything, I'm gonna come back down. See, I'm like, I just moved from up top all the way down to here, and then I'll start over again. This is just too dark. And I think I'm gonna do a little bit more of the texture down here at the risk of making it too light. Okay, so smudge that out. I think what I'm going to do in the next chapter for you is do this base. Now, be careful when you get down here, because I just found myself, I'm kind of doing a little bit over here, a little bit over here. I'm not really looking. Got to really pay attention and look. Not looking equals drawing out of your imagination. Drawing out of your imagination is different than trying to do this practice. This is really majorly awesome practice. I can't tell you, working on this cast project has gotten me back into shape. Drawing wise, not physically. Physically it's been bad on my body because I'm sitting down editing and drawing, which equals big stomach. But drawing in shape, I've gotten much better. So now I'm drawing in class and I'm doing the shorter stuff and I'm getting it no problem because my eye-hand coordination is back up to speed, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to buy another cast, and I don't think I'm going to do another cast drawing project on video for a while, just because I want to give you all some variety. But this has been great for me. And if you have the opportunity even to go buy a little figurine and draw from the figurine. I mean, this cast in the grand scheme of things was not that expensive. It was like $140, which to me is not bad because it seems pretty quality. And there was one that was smaller for like half of the price. And so maybe you want to do like a small one, or if you don't want to buy a cast and you have like limited funds and you're surrounded by museums, go to a museum. If you live in a big city, go to a museum. And no, it's not as comfortable as like working at home in your own studio. Definitely not, but it's something that it'll get you into shape drawing from a statue. Work the whole thing. Not happy with the neck area? Not at all. We're going to come back and work on this base.